Crime Stalkers, Happy New Year. We're bringing in the new year with a brand new episode of Crime Stalkers. I'm Steph.
And I'm Sin. And this is the first episode of 2022, which is dope. The last month or two, we were pretty fucking busy, what with getting married and all
bitches.
that stuff. So this is not only the first episode of 2022, but it's also our first episode as a married couple.
That's right.
It's weird saying 2022. Have you said it?
No.
It's fucked up. It's fucking me
I
up.
just avoided 2022 in
See,
the
it's
intro.
weird. I don't like it. And we got a whole year of this. Alright, so let's dive into this. In this episode, we're going to talk about a couple local legends around Ormond Beach, Florida. Both of which began in like the 1950s and led into the 1960s, but you can still hear about them today. And the first one is the Tomoka Lights, or otherwise known as the Ormond Lights. But whichever name you want to use for these mysterious orbs, it doesn't change the local lore of it. And if you're familiar with the Ormond Beach area in Florida, you know about that long, windy road we call the Loop. For those who aren't familiar with the Loop, it's actually Beach Street, and it runs along the Halifax River underneath a canopy of trees. And you also pass the Tomoka State Park, and for cats who know, a witch's house. But that's not this episode. Maybe in the future, though.
Got me excited for a second.
Yeah, right? Well, you've heard of the lights, right?
No.
You ain't heard about the fucking lights?
No, I've heard of a lot of stuff around here, but I ain't heard of the lights.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I mean, I might have, but I don't know if, like, it was called The Lights. I think it was just, like, a drunk story somebody was telling one night.
Right.
So.
Well, I mean, that's what you did. You would drive down there and, like, kill your headlights, and typically you were probably drunk.
Oh, my
during the time.
God. We did that before, actually. Like, it was me and a group of friends, and, like, we all cut our lights off. I mean, I wasn't driving, but they all cut their lights off, and the one person up front was the only one with his headlights on. It was pretty freaky, actually. I was surprised there was no cops around there.
Like a train? Yeah, they're hardly back there.
Yeah, that's true.
Like ever.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about them when I was like 13 or 14. And that was probably like 9th grade or 10th grade or something like that. I don't know. But my sister had these two friends that were always over. These two fucking goofballs. But they would come over all the time. One time they rolled up and they were like, "Hey, we gotta go in your backyard real quick." And we were like, "What the fuck?" They stole a statue out of someone's garden. And what's funny is, like, the next day or so, they came back and they actually, like, brought the statue back without the people knowing. Yeah, they were just fucking out there. But they would come over and, like, be trying to hang out with my sister. And whether she was there or she was out or not trying to hang out with them, we would fucking hang out with them. So, like, whoever was over, like, Matt or Hook, we'd all drive with them through the Loop. And we'd do that. We'd kill the headlights, or we'd be, like, blasting fucking music and
I don't
being
got the
crazy.
eyesight for that no more.
But I'm pretty sure they were the ones that told me about it. And that shout out to Kelly and Jordan. But the lights, if you haven't heard about it, like you haven't, they were described as like floating, like, lights, like orbs of light, just kind of dancing around in the street. And I never really thought much about it, like hearing about it then, because you're like, oh, that's crazy. When am I ever out there? Like, I don't care about the fucking lights. But it wasn't until we started doing the podcast where I was like trying to look around for like local shit where I came across it again. The cases of the ghost lights kind of vary here and there. Some say they're like orb-like lights that appear out of nowhere, and sometimes they like combine together and like dance around just up ahead the road. But needless to say, this probably caused quite a bit of accidents and heightened the whole story of these weird floating lights. Tons of people talk about their own experiences. Like, when I was looking into it, there's like these forums, like Creepy Ormond or whatever, the Creepy Florida or something like that .com.
Where people, like, put their experiences and stuff.
Right,
yeah.
It's like a Reddit almost.
I used to read that on, like, I don't know, like, urban legends and shit. Like, I used to read deep into it online, and I would read, like, all these, like, paranormal, like, events that happen. And I'd be sitting there like, man, I want something like that to happen.
Diving deep into
like
it.
my friend Michelle, she actually has a picture of like, it looks like a face. And like, yeah, like, I don't know, it was like a picture of her mom took in her living room, but they had like a banister, like pole thing.
Okay.
And it had a mirror on it. And she has a picture, and like, there straight up looks like there's a face in it. And I'm like, this would have been a good story
Creepy
to put online.
shit.
Yeah.
Right? That'd be a good picture
right.
to
But
put
we didn't know about
online.
that shit back then. I stumbled upon it and was like, damn.
That's like when cats take pictures and they're like, do you see all these orbs floating around? Like,
I hear about that a lot in
You know?
pictures when there's like little orbs, I guess they are, when
Yeah.
they're on there. People used to come up with like what they were, like if they were people, spirits, and ghosts and stuff like
Right.
that. So
and not just like dust particles
Right.
floating through the
Right.
air, which I don't know.
I mean, I don't know either. I ain't never heard one talk to me or nothing, but
Right.
yeah.
I've had an experience where I don't know if it was, I mean, I was on acid, so like it's
It
kind
was
of.
the acid.
it-
Don't say no more.
it could have been.
It's 100% the acid.
You never. It was creepy as fuck though, but anyways. So yeah, I was seeing some comments of like people that actually witnessed it and all this, and I mean, there's not really a lot to go on. There was only like a handful of websites, maybe like 3 or 4. But some, like I did read on one that it was speculated that the lights were actually a couple that had died in a car crash. And like that was pretty interesting. But then, you know, you got the scientist fucks who were like, yeah, it's probably swamp gas. And, you know, a distant bridge that had like lights on it. And like with the fog and everything. So I mean, you could see the bridge back then was like a lot lower and closer to the water. So it'd be more like eye level, like in a
Right.
car from a distance. So that's a possibility. But that, along with the swamp, would make the lights on the bridge appear to be like floating in front of the cars. And I'm no expert on anything, especially science, so I can't really explain what swamp gas is, like how it works.
I thought you said swamp ass.
I could tell you all about swamp ass.
Ew, I don't want to know.
I could tell you all about it.
Keep that info.
That's a different episode.
Yeah.
So,
That's one I won't be on.
so evidently, swamp. Excuse our cat. He's going fucking nuts right now. But swamp gas can actually ignite itself, which is crazy. So swamp gas is usually made up from.
I'm just, every time you say swamp gas.
It's mentioned quite a few times in here, so we'll try to move through this.
All I hear is swamp ass. No matter how many times you say swamp gas, I hear ass.
Well, usually swamp ass is made up.
I don't want to know.
They're probably not too far from one
I
another.
don't want to
But swamp gas
know. With the G.
from swamps are usually made up of like the shit in the swamp,
See?
obviously. But that's like methane gas, which is why I said it's kind of similar, but in
You said
phosphine.
shit, and I figured that was a similarity.
Well, you never know what's out there. But I guess gases that can spontaneously combust, which I never knew, like at all. I never thought about it. One source I read said that the bridge was rebuilt in the early 1960s, and shortly after that, the sightings like died down. And a lot of people say it was because of like the development out there, because there wasn't as much shit back there as there is now, especially. But there's still plenty that say that the lights are still out there. One source I read said that the bridge was rebuilt in the early 1960s, and shortly after the sightings like died down. And a lot of people say it's because of all the development that happened out there. Development. I feel like I didn't hit that one right. I'm gonna have to listen back.
I don't know why you just look so prissy when you... Development.
I had to
I'm
pronunciate
I
it.
didn't know where you were going.
I was going to the swamp ass, babe.
No.
Alright. But there's still a lot of people out there that say that the lights are still floating around doing crazy shit out there. And on one of the sites, there was a commented that was posted last year in February that said that they gotten video footage of the lights in front of them, and they had been like blue and green, and that they were fucking huge, like 15 feet wide, and could move like 15 to fucking 20 miles per hour, and also were able to like shapeshift even into a shape of an angel.
Now see, they were on acid.
Very good possibility. But they didn't post the video.
I was about to say, did they post it? It's not real unless you post it, don't they know?
And even if you did post it, it's a very good possibility that it's not real. There's a lot of good hoax out there. You seen them fucking videos where they're like,
I see a lot
hallway,
of these home rap videos. They're pretty good. So.
And then spider jumps into this fucking screen
but
at you.
they usually got people in the back doing it. I want to see this video.
Right. There wasn't a lot of information on the website or nothing, so it's not like you could email them. Maybe you could reply to them to double check. Cause like, why wouldn't anybody else be like, yo, where the fuck is the video then? Anyways, also, people like said that it could possibly be aliens. Of course.
It's always aliens.
That's it. No matter what.
No matter what.
No matter
it's
what.
Always aliens.
You got swamp ass? Aliens.
It's aliens.
Goddamn aliens gave me swamp ass. Well, either way you look at it, it's pretty interesting, like, local myth that's been around as long as the Blob.
Was that your stomach?
That was my stomach. It said,
aliens.
Aliens did that. For real. Watch out. But yeah, it's been around as long as the Blob, which is an old movie back in, like, the 90s.
Yeah.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
Whew. And, it's actually not the only one in the loop, which leads us to the second one of the episode, which has a resemblance of the Blob. And if you haven't seen the Blob is about these teenagers who had to save the town from this alien thing that would engulf whatever it touched after it crashed on Earth. And it was like this pink-colored goo, like the toy slime, but like the size of a building. In any case, the second local tale is about the bloodthirsty pink mist of Tomoka. Yeah, you heard that right. In the beginning of 1955, fishermen and hunters that would frequent the area of the Tomoka River began reporting seeing this thick pink fog that would float real low to the ground, like unaffected by the wind, and would devour anything in its path.
That's like the mist.
Right, but pink. I guess it was important.
The color is very important, guys.
Aliens.
Pink.
Evidently, it had some sort of like corrosive effect that would strip dead animals and humans of like their flesh and just leave like bleached bones in its path. It would like strip the bark off of trees it passed and like fuck up the brush on the ground and shit.
And these people have seen it without getting touched by it?
They seen it while they was fishing. I just imagine some cat fishing on like, you know, the bank of the river and just being like casting out, and all of a sudden there's like some pink mist just floating on behind them.
Interesting. It's just bleaching animals in and out, but let's just watch it.
Whoa, and then like a little chipmunk or something runs up and it's like, it gets like,
it's gruesome.
That's what I imagine it's being like. Anyway, so some of the carcasses were described to be like half digested or even melted. And these sightings happened for about a decade up until 1965. And there were plenty of speculations and theories, but one popular one is that the strange mist is actually intertwined with the spirit of Chief Tomki. I hope I'm saying that right. A local native who had been cursed for stealing a golden cup, which could be like the Holy Grail, and drinking from a fountain of youth without permission. And he had been shot through the heart by a maiden named Olita, who had ran up and grabbed the cup from him. And when she had it in her hands, she was also shot with a poisoned arrow, still holding it as she died. Now with that story, like, it lines up with the spirit of the great Tomki haunting the woods, and the rankest fart cloud is beyond me, but it's an interesting take.
Fart cloud.
And cool story on history if it's cool, like if it's true. but like it's just kind of out there.
Yeah.
Like why?
And that was all about the pink mist?
No, that was just one theory of it.
Oh.
Of like, because it's the Tomoka, you know what I mean? He was a chief and...
No, I got that. I was just wondering if it was like, that was all that you got.
Well...
Like, are you about to flip into a new story?
Not like that. There's some other explanations. Like, of course, you got the scientist fucks who say that it's swamp gas. Again.
It don't matter.
Or it's some toxic cloud of lethal fumes that were caused by chemical plants. Now, I tried to look and see if there were, like, any chemical plants in the area, but I didn't find anything other than, like, places that sold soil and shit.
Right.
But I don't even think they were, like, anywhere near the loop. So I think that's kind of a stretch. I mean, as far as a stretch as a fucking haunted fart cloud. So... fucking aliens. In any case, supposedly...
What are you saying? Fart cloud?
Yeah!
Where did you read these things from?
I said that.
I'm thinking you're on some... It's like just fucking... That's fucking with you at this point. I
Some
thought you were on a
professional website.
It's just fucking with you.
No.
That's what I thought.
No.
I'm like, somebody's fucking with him. Whatever he's reading, just fucked him.
It's just how my brain translates shit. That's all.
Fart cloud, swamp ass.
That's it. Aliens.
Oh my god.
So, in any case, there were like dozens of people that were victims of the death cloud. Is that better?
No, I quite enjoyed fart cloud.
Fart cloud, alright. There were dozens of people that were victims of the fart cloud. and only their bones were found. But, unfortunately, no one knows who these people were, or their names, or anything, so it's kind of like... Right. So, I mean, it could have, if they were finding bones out there, I mean, that's a great spot to hide a fucking body.
Right.
You know, especially in the 50s with the fucking...
And that was by, like, High Bridge and stuff like that?
Yeah.
They have found a couple bodies in there that, like, were old and shit.
I'm saying it's a
like,
choice spot.
I was gonna say, like, if I murdered somebody, I put him in there.
Right. I mean, back then.
I would still do it.
Now?
Yeah.
I think there's too much going on out there.
It was like a few years ago. They found like a body that was in there.
Yeah, I mean, the bodies don't go away or nothing.
I know, but it took a while. I could fly to fucking Mexico by then.
Oh, well, now you can't. And you got to get a passport.
I'm saying Mexico, but I'm going somewhere else.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wink, wink. I'm going to Switzerland. So, yeah, I don't know. If you're a killer and you're looking to put bodies out there, maybe don't. Just start a podcast or something. Anyways, just as the Tomoka Lights, the pink mist sightings faded in the mid-60s. Coinky dink.
They just wanted an awesome story to tell so people would talk to them.
Maybe. There's still people that talk about it now. But there were some that's, like, still say that you can see the pink mist if you go at the right time of year with a handful of luck.
That's always say. There's stipulations to this shit nowadays.
It's got to be the right temperature.
Right. Over the ages, people have just, like, came up with this bonkers shit, like, all the time. You gotta be carrying something or, like, sit in a chair with a beer in your hand, like
like the devil's chair. Yeah. No, you put the beer down, and if you come back, he had drank it.
See, I
so
always heard it was you would hold it. Yeah, that's what
you leave it.
See,
it's all
people
aliens.
on acid.
Fucking acid and swamp ass.
Fucking aliens.
It's a hell of a combination, I'll tell you. But I don't know. It's just like the lights. You know how much can you really put into it?
Right.
But it's cool to believe that some like weird shit's going on, you know, especially in town.
Sure.
I mean, we got the world's most famous beach, But then it's like, ooh, spooky stuff over here.
But we also have like the St. Augustine, or no, it's either the St. Augustine or the Ponce Inlet that people claim is haunted.
Both of them,
Both
for
of them.
sure. St. Augustine was built on bodies.
Right.
Everywhere you step, you're probably stepping on somebody, you know? And I think I heard Ponce Inlet being haunted too, like maybe the lighthouse.
I think that was the one I first heard of.
I think it was the lighthouse.
And the Orange Bridge too.
Orange Bridge?
Yeah, or the Silver Beach Bridge it was.
That's the same.
Yeah, then it was that one. Yeah.
The fucking bridge was haunted?
Yeah, people claim like some girl died on prom night and like you can like see her if you go on prom night.
No way.
Yeah, because she was on her way to prom and never made it because she was like killed or something.
Fucking spooky.
You know, it was really creepy because we went to go check one time way years ago, and we looked at the house that was like right off to the right before you go over to the mainland side. There's like a driveway you could turn in, and then there's like this old historian house, and like we were peeking through and everything because we heard that was her house, and my initials were on the front door.
Ooh,
SAL, and like I freaked out and ran because like everybody was like, ooh, like you're gonna be the next one. I didn't go to prom.
It wasn't a guy named Sal living there.
Right. Well, it was S.A.L.
Ooh, that is kind of...
Right. So it was weird. And I think it was my mom who called it out and was like, look. And I was like, oh, fuck this.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I want to go
I
to
don't
prom.
know what led us there. I know we heard the story, read up on it, and then we were just like, fuck it. Let's go see, like, this area. And then we found out you had to go on prom night. We're like, oh, it was like a fucking Friday or something.
All these rules.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
The ghosts follow
What
these
just happened?
rules.
Like, fucking people just haunted you.
Right.
Regularly. You didn't have to do nothing to get them. Like, all these fucking crazy rules.
It's funny. I seen this meme the other day, and it was just like, all ghosts are white. Every ghost was like a white person. And I started thinking, I was like, God damn. Every movie I see, it's like
the
a white...
ghosts are white, yeah.
They're all fucking white, you know? It was funny. But I don't know, maybe we'll have to go take a loop ride. And go check them out. Maybe catch some lights.
Like to see some pink...
Fart cloud. It's a fart cloud.
I'll pass on the swamp ass, but...
I think...
The fart cloud I'm down to see.
From a distance.
Yeah.
With the mask.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody's wearing masks.
You gotta have them. Not here. It's Florida.
That's true.
Everybody listening, not in Florida. Sorry. It's fucked up here. But yeah, I'd like to go to the witch's basement if it's still there. I think that's the only thing that's still there.
Don't they not let people over there?
Security guards out there on this corner of the loop?
I can't talk about murder, but he can talk about committing crimes on a podcast.
I didn't see any private...
It says it.
I didn't see it. It was dark. Not when I went through.
Then I'll just say I didn't know it was a dead body.
That's a whole different thing.
How? You
Killing
ain't blind.
somebody and then hiding a body is a lot different than
but
me
you're
being
not
like,
blind.
I didn't see that sign over there on that tree in the middle of the night. I just seen this. I had to take a leak.
Double standard nowadays.
We call it that. Just swamp ass. Well, anyways, that wraps up this episode. And if any listeners have any personal experiences from the loop or just any spooky shit,
yeah, I want to go check some shit out. So if you guys know of like any, I don't know, I guess urban legend or your own experience,
your own legend,
write that shit in.
Right.
I want to do some investigating. Maybe post some pictures and videos and see if like
if you're the fuck that has the video of these 15-foot fucking dancing angel blobs that change colors and go at 15 to 20 miles per hour, you need to tag us.
But I was talking about us, like
us making videos
and pictures. If you guys like write in about like the urban legends or the stories or whatever, like some paranormal shit,
any kind of shit, but not like about your day. I want to see
something though. If I don't, I'm coming back on the next episode, and I'm gonna be angry, real angry.
I'm gonna be angry as fuck. I'm gonna be on this
Angry.
mic talking mad shit.
Uh-huh.
So,
And
but
no
yeah.
stipulations.
No, yeah, for sure.
No stipulations.
I'm
I'm
fucking-
not walking out in fucking a bear costume or Pikachu onesie to fucking lure
You gotta clap 3 times.
Satan out or whatever.
Couple
you know?
jumping jacks.
Right. I'm not doing no rain dance.
yeah.
None of that shit.
But yeah, you can email us at thecrimestalkers@gmail.com. You could also find us on Instagram at _crime_stalkers. We're on Facebook as the Crime Stalkers Podcast. And on Twitter at crime_stalkers.
We on everything.
We everywhere. And we hope you join us next time on Crime Stalkers.
Keep on stalking crime.
Peace.
Later.
With your swamp ass.